Now we come on a few slides discussing this technology PageRank. Later on, there's actually some software which we will look at but to calculate PageRank, either PageRank of a particular real page on the internet, or take a graph of websites linking to each other and calculate PageRank from that graph. And Page refers to Google's co-founder, Larry Page, whose PhD discussed this. And it is effectively a measure of the importance of a web page. And the idea is a page is important if it receives many links, and also the importance of a link is more important if the page is important. And it is actually relatively simple. It's like many elegant, clever ideas. It's actually pretty simple. It's not difficult to calculate. And it is, as it says here, based on a random walk or a Markov chain idea. For the purpose of these lectures, Markov chains are roughly random walks. And we look at what happens when we have people or agents moving through the internet, and at any stage they're on a page, then they either select equally from all the links on the page, another page, and go to it. So do that 85% of the time. So any one page has gone to 0.85 over the number of links on the page times, or it goes 15% of the time. This number of 85 and 15, which might add up to 100, they can be chosen to different values. These are just typical values. And 15% of the time, it will just go to a general link. Naively, that means the person goes up to the top of his browser and types in a new link into the web page and goes there. Here's an example from Wikipedia of pages. Each happy face is a page. We have pages here which point to other pages, either to this yellow page or this blue page, and these pages here are not pointed to by anybody. You only get to them if you actually use the 0.15 probability of typing the URL into the web browser. There's a yellow thing up here, the really happy thing, has lots of people pointing at that page. So the size of the happy face is the so-called page size proportional to the size of the page rank, which is calculated iteratively by assuming the page rank of all the pages. Then you recalculate the page rank given their current importance and who links to who. You can then calculate a new value, and then you just iterate that idea, and you'll find it will actually converge. It's good when things converge. Some things actually always converge, that always converges. Here we actually write it out a bit mathematically, that the page rank of page I, this is, if D is 1, we only consider links, the case when we can link to a page. Is page rank of page I is the sum over pages J pointing to I of the page rank of J over the number of pages linked to page J. Then you would take D times this and 1 minus D times the chance that you type in a random URL. And as we will quantify in the later lecture, we get a matrix equation. The thing becomes matrix multiplication. What you get out of that matrix multiplication done many times, that gives you the so-called PAR method of finding the eigenvector of largest eigenvalue of this particular problem, and that is the eigenvalue is the page rank, and the eigenvector is the set of, the eigenvalue is 1, and the eigenvector is has components which are the page ranks. So here's another example of a bunch of graph. The graph is defined by who points to who. So this page D has 2 links going to A and B, And then we have all these small things here which don't have anybody pointing to them, but they themselves point to things. And then we can calculate the page rank. Look at C here. It's big because B doesn't actually point to anything except C. So C is big and inherits the importance of B. B is pointed to by a lot of people. Notice it's not quite as popular as B because of the fact that D is 0.85. And so there's some probability that we don't actually go to C from B. So it's sort of interesting. This concept can be generalized because you can think of PageRank as a reputation. It's either, I mean, in the web page example, it's the importance of a web page, which is similar to the reputation of a web page. And so you can use this concept with other types of entities. One of the examples is trying to rank journals. There is a so-called eigenfactor method of ranking journals, which is just effectively using the PageRank idea, which apply it to journals where the linkage now doesn't come from people, from hyperlinks within the directly from actual physical hyperlinks from one article to another or one journal to another journal. It comes from citations. So the citations of the articles in the journal effectively establish a graph. When you analyze that graph, you can find the same type of eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and that then gives you, again, the most popular journals and things like that. And another similar example, which has been used, is to apply this to rank essentially universities or research programs, and you again link people together by seeing which universities place students in other universities. In the case of eigenfactor, it competes with a simpler concept, the impact factor. The impact factor of a journal is the average number of citations that every article in the journal gets. That's a much simpler concept, and that's actually what people tend to use. But maybe eigenfactors is better. So here's actually, if you go to the eigenfactor website, you can find out that actually you get sort of sensible answers, Nature and Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences as top journals with good eigenfactor coefficients. Science article, I mean, here's a journal I used to publish in, PhysRev Letters. It's a very key physics journal, which has short descriptions of the latest physics discoveries. PhysRev B has a good eigenfactor. It is the longer version of that. In physics, these journals sort of are dominant. So, I mean, part of this reflects the fact that in some fields have dominant journals. Other fields, actually like computer science, tend not to have dominant journals. And so they don't get such highly rated, whether by impact factor or eigenfactor, they do not get such highly rated journals.